dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning. I'm just checking my phone like I know you do all the time, just to make sure I know what's going on in the world. Dave Scott here on The Splash Live, getting everything all tucked together. Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Civic Center TV and all of our other outlets. Splash Live in the MegaCast, part of 90 minutes of live local television each and every day. We get together with you in the morning. We start at 9:30 with The Splash, and then Tyler comes in at 10, and he does a MegaCast. Splash, very local. MegaCast takes a slightly wider look at issues across our area. Either way, an awful lot of local programming for you each and every day. We hope you tune in on all of our outlets, and that, of course, includes Civic Center TV. You can find us in Channel 15 in the Greater West Bloomfield area if you are a Comcast subscriber. You'll find us on Channel 99 if you're an AT&T subscriber. And AT&T subscribers, just go to Channel 99 and you'll look around. There'll be the other community television channels there, and you'll find your favorite community. Click on it, and hopefully that's West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake, or Sylvan Lake. Thank you also for tuning in each and every day on CivicCenterTV.com. An awful lot of our primary programming is there, and then a lot of ancillary programming. Last night was a busy night, a lot of different things going on, but they were all broadcast on Civic Center TV in full high definition. So be sure to check it out. We are there this morning, and it's a good resource for our live programming and all of our archive programming as well. We're live this morning on Facebook and on YouTube, streaming for you. Go to the Civic Center TV outlets there. And then thank you for joining us on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM, all across the Greater West Bloomfield area. So, busy show today. We're going to check in with David Coulter, the Oakland County Executive, who did his State of the County address right here in our town last night at the Berman Center. We have a picture of that we can show you real quickly right now. But great effort last night, and awful nice to have Executive Coulter here. We'll talk to him on the show and find out more about what he had to talk about last night. And I was not there because I was up in Bay City for the quarterfinals of the State Women's Basketball Tournament where West Bloomfield was playing. How did that go? We'll let you know in just a couple of minutes. We've got video and interviews from last night as well. Let's take a look at the weather, though, first of all, around our area. And beautiful day, one of the nicest days we have had in an awful long time right here in West Bloomfield. We have sunshine as part of our weather forecast today. It's going to be really quite nice. Temperatures will be in the 40s if we can get our weather. There we go. Okay, only 22 right now. But today, 46 degrees will be our high, 34 our low. A little bit better. We're really already at our low at 22 degrees right now. It's going to warm up even a little bit better tomorrow. We'll get into the 50s. How about that? And then on Friday, 49 degrees. So looking pretty good right here in the West Bloomfield area. Beginning to warm up a little bit and get back into hopefully a little bit more lamb-like weather. Definitely been lion-like weather. That snow that we had on Monday, we were supposed to get like a half an hour of snow and maybe get a little dusting. And as we were working our State of the Communities broadcast, it was snowing all darn day. So really ready for the weather to change. So it was a excellent night last night for your West Bloomfield girls basketball team. They win, beating Flint Carman Amesworth, who came into the game 23-0. And West Bloomfield, only a couple of losses in the season, but they had a great showing last night in that historic old 100-year-old gym up there, and won the state quarterfinals. Great showing by the Lakers, and now they move on to the Breslin Center, and it's going to be a busy weekend. Lakers in the state semifinals, and that is going to be happening Friday at 12 noon, and should they win that contest, they will go on to the State 1 Division Finals on Saturday. Your West Bloomfield Lakers, of course, they're the team that everyone's been shooting for all season long, the defending state champion. But boy, they had really quite a contest last night, and one of the best teams in the state that they were facing, Flint Carman Amesworth. I caught up with head coach Darrin McAllister after the game and asked him to talk a little bit about his opponent.
Well, we prepared. We came in today. We were prepared for everything that they were going to do, and I think we got out there and executed for the most part. And at the end of the day, I don't want to say we surviving and advancing. We dominating and dancing.
Well, and Summer looked like she was in the zone tonight, especially right in the middle of the second half. That three from the corner, and then came back and broke loose and broke free. And at that point, 25 points, and you guys were on the move at that point.
She actually scored 1,000 points tonight. So she came in focused, executed, and I couldn't be more proud of her.
So over 1,000 tonight with the 28 she got tonight.
Yes.
And I was also looking at the end of your bench tonight. Obviously, we're going to talk in a minute more about this season, but for your future seasons, having these developing players see this 2 years in a row, pretty amazing.
Feels pretty good. It's not bare. We don't got to rebuild, we can reload.
So talk a little bit about what you are concerned about or things you need to work on as you head off to the Breslin.
We definitely want to continue to be healthy. And for some of the nicks and grooves we have, we got to get in there, see Amy get some treatment, and just make sure that we're healthy going into it. So at this point, I said all season, I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm more or less worried about us. If we're doing what we're supposed to do and we're healthy, we're going to be fine.
Big advantage for West Bloomfield having been there last year. Does that help?
That absolutely helps us. Just having that experience, not only from the player standpoint, from the coaching standpoint. So we're a year more experienced, and hey, we're ready for it.
Community's catching up to what you guys are doing. Really exciting. What this team has done so much for athletics in West Bloomfield and the women's program, as a whole.
That's been fun. It's been fun, but we're not done yet. And I just want to tell everybody, come on out, get your popcorn ready.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
All right, well, there he is, head coach Darrin McAllister. I made a mistake in that interview, and I made it again a little bit later on in one of the other interviews that you're going to see. Probably minor, you didn't notice. I said second half, but really West Bloomfield took this game over from Flint Carmen Ainsworth in the second quarter as Summer Davis on fire last night. 28 points, and as you heard the coach say, she hit the eclipse of 1,000 points for her career. Absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, see, I was right there in the court and watching her and the rest of the team. This is not, certainly there's no one player on this team that's making it all happen. But last night, Summer Davis was on fire, and she just took the whole thing over. It was a great performance. I did catch up with her sister, Indya Davis, who had just been recognized by Gatorade as the Women's Basketball Player of the Year here in the state of Michigan, and I got her thoughts about last night's game.
Back here with Indya Davis, and I think it was like 16 or 18 points tonight. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
And then what about this? Gatorade. You got to be all excited about Gatorade. Talk about winning this amazing accomplishment, Gatorade Women's High School Player of the Year in Michigan. What did you know that was coming, or just talk about that?
I didn't know it was coming, but I know the hard work I put in, paid off. Come from my teammates passing the ball, scoring, so it worked very well for everybody.
All right, well, you're smart and wise to talk about not just yourself but the team, and you guys really tonight played like a team on the floor, moving the ball really well. Talk about that.
It comes from our focus, coming in ready to play. We want to win together. It's not going to take one person to win, so we got to come together and just win the game.
And as you get ready now to take it to the next level and head off to the Breslin, how helpful is it that you've already been down that path?
Definitely, get some experience. We've been down there before. We know what we need to do to win. And I think if we push it more, then we'll be there.
All right. Your sister was in the zone. She was banging that three. It just seemed like she took over. I'll talk to her about it in a minute. But it just seems like she just decided to take over there in the second half. And from there on in, you guys just ripped it up tonight.
Yeah, I love it. I love feeding her the ball. Like, when she's hot, we're going to keep getting up to her. So it all works out for the rest of us.
Are you finding time to have fun in the middle of all this?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, and then I know you both are going to Michigan State. I don't know if you've heard the news, but clearly a coaching change coming. Does that impact any of your plans, or what are your thoughts or reaction to that?
It was definitely a surprise, but, we're going to talk with the coach, the new coach that comes along. If we don't like it, then we'll change, but we do. We'll be still committed.
Well, it's got to be really exciting of going to Michigan State to play this week and know that eventually you're going to be playing there.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Indya, thank you very much. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
All right, well, she is a very soft-spoken young lady, but her and her sister, the Davis twins, certainly getting noticed by everybody around the state of Michigan and around the country. They'll be heading off to the Breslin, where most likely they'll be playing their college basketball career. Hard to remember, they are both juniors still. We did have a chance to catch up with one of the seniors in the team, Sydney Hendrix, and ask her thoughts about the big victory.
Well, basically, I ain't gonna lie, this is probably my favorite year doing this, only because it's like we came here before when I was a junior, so doing it again, we was even talking about it, it feels so much bigger because now you have something to fight for. Like, I have a title that we had to fight for. Like, everybody's coming for us with their best shot. And for it to be my last year, I wanted to go out with a bang. I wanted us to go out together. I want us to all play great. And to see us performing at such a high level and like coming together and like just cleaning up everything we've been working on is honestly just, it's so much fun to do and see.
Well, there was no quit in you guys because you honestly had this game in control.
Yeah.
And I've got a great clip right here of you going to the low post, driving the baseline, and really banging right at the end of the game. You weren't holding back at all.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. We're preparing for something bigger. So even if we're up by 30 or up by 10 or up by 50, it doesn't really matter because we're preparing for a bigger goal to win everything. So if we prepare ourselves to play every single quarter 110%, go out every single time, we're gonna be ready to do it against people who are we play in the finals. So that's what we're preparing for.
So you were there last year. Is it different when you get through the quarterfinals? Now you're at the semis.
Yeah.
You're in the Breslin. I mean, is that different?
Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Like this year, it feels a lot different because I've been there already, so I'm ready to go back. As soon as we won last year, I was talking about going back. Like I've been thinking about it this whole year. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I've been so excited to play, and I'm so ready. It feels different because I already know what it's like to be there, and I have never had a better experience than being at the Breslin, so I can't wait to go back.
You don't have to do that thing they did in the Hoosiers movie, right? You know where they measure the basket because they're in the bit. You know the scene I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
You know, you've already been there. You don't need to measure anything.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
it's like, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we feel way more prepared going in there because last year it was a little startling seeing how many people were there. It was bigger than we actually expected, and so we came out kind of rough. But this year we know what we're going into, so I feel a lot more prepared and a lot more excited.
You know, and coming into tonight's game, when you hear Flint, Herman, Ainsworth, it just sounds intimidating, right? They've got a history, right?
They do.
And you guys handled them well tonight.
Yeah, so my whole family from Flint, so I knew it was kind of like I can't wait to play them because I know a lot of people who played on their team. I've been playing against them since he was young, so it's just, you know, they get down, and it was a good game. I mean, they put up a fight, but at the end, we just had more energy. I felt like we wanted it more, but they're still a really good team.
All right, well, just make sure I could tell by your smile, this is going to be an easy request. Just make sure you have fun when you're up there. This
Always.
is your senior year, right?
Of course. I mean, I only do this because I love it. You know, it's just so much fun to play good basketball. And I feel like we're in the midst of creating bigger history than we ever expected. It's fun to be a part of.
Sydney, you're doing a great thing for women's basketball and for the athletic program in West Bloomfield to rise to such a high level. It gets people like me and all kinds of people that don't hang out at the school very excited, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming out.
All right, thank you very much.
She's just such a great young lady, and it typifies what I run into interviewing the student athletes in West Bloomfield and all of our schools around the area. Very impressive. So huge night last night. Lakers win the quarterfinals, and it couldn't be any better. Green and white, St. Patty's Day at the Breslin for the state semis. We, of course, will be there. And I hope you don't mind me taking a little extra time with sports here this morning. For me, this story is not entirely all about sports. It's about our community and developing these great athletic programs and the amazing success stories that we as a community are having with these student athletes, the people that surround the program, and the community at large having a rally point and coming together around this team, the football team, and the other teams that are state champions. Your defending state champion West Bloomfield Lakers, again, will be Friday at the Breslin, and Civic Center TV will be there to cover it. So the West Bloomfield seems to be the center of everything right now. Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter did his State of the County address last night right here in West Bloomfield. He's standing by. We're going to get caught up with him, find out what the big points were last night, the big rally points were last night. from a political standpoint here in Oakland County when we return. Good morning. Thank you for watching. This is The Splash Live. I'm Dave Scott. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
I'm Steve Eiserman of the Detroit Red Wings, and I think every child in Michigan deserves a safe, healthy, and happy childhood. Can we build a state where Children Trust Michigan isn't just a name, but something our kids believe? Please support Children Trust Michigan as the voice for children and families by visiting the website to learn more.
Like what you see? Beautiful works of art, masterworks of metal, and accomplishments of artistry will be on display near you. All kinds of artists from all walks of life come together to celebrate their skill and appreciate their work's beauty. Hot Works presents the 2023 Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. Stop by July 29th and 30th between 2 and 10 p.m. between Powers and Daly off of Orchard Lake Road. Stop by West Bloomfield Town Hall June 14th and get your health in check at the 14th Annual Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. Over 40 businesses, organizations, and vendors take the time to showcase healthy practices, tips, and resources for the community. Young or old, there's something for everyone and everybody. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday, June 14th, the 14th Annual Greater West Bloomfield Health and Wellness Fair. This community update from Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash Live.
Back, Dave Scott here on The Splash Live. What a busy week it has been here in West Bloomfield. State quarterfinal basketball, our state of the communities on Monday. And then Dave Coulter comes to West Bloomfield. How great was that? To the Berman Center to deliver his annual State of the County address. And he takes a moment for us this morning. Executive Coulter, thank you very much for joining us here on The Splash Live.
It is my pleasure, and it was great to be in West Bloomfield yesterday.
Well, thank you very much, and we really appreciate you being here for this speech. Reading from the Detroit News, they say that you talked about the county's strengths last night. Forgive me, I wanted to be there, but our girls were in the state quarterfinal basketball game last night.
All right. I guess we'll try to have it back near you next year.
But it was great to have you here. You talked, of course, about the things that we generally hear in these speeches, the county's strengths, business growth, and attraction. In the Detroit News reports this morning, that you also talked significantly about mental health. Can you give us a little recap of last night?
Yeah. There's probably no other area that we spend our ARP dollars, our American Rescue Plan dollars on than mental health. I knew that this was a problem, getting access to mental health services even before COVID, but the pandemic just exacerbated the issues that we're having. And so we spent more than $24 million trying to lean in on mental health in our schools, in our hospitals. When you show up at the emergency room, are you going to get some treatment? Are you going to get some care? And one of the projects that we kicked off last night and unveiled was a $5 million investment from the state that's going to be for an integrated healthcare clinic in Pontiac that will be able to offer mental health services regardless of your ability to pay. So an important topic, and we're really leaning on it.
Well, and I imagine this is an effort that isn't being completely managed with county facilities, that there's an awful lot of people that you can reach out to across the county and find other partners to help you with this important mission.
Yeah, in fact, the project in Pontiac isn't really, we're just one of the players. The state of Michigan is involved, the Michigan Hospital Association, Oakland Community involved, Honor Community Health. It is truly a partnership. Oakland County government can't necessarily solve a problem that big by itself, but what we can do is convene our partners, bring people together to try to come up with solutions. And I think that's what we've done with this new clinic in Pontiac.
Dave Coulter, County Executive, has to be nice that I think we all feel that we are as post-COVID as we could. You're at the Vermin Center with a big group last night, and we had some tough years, especially here in Oakland County, where we had one of the higher rates of COVID here in the state of Michigan. But do you feel that we came through that as successfully as we could have, and we're now as much on the backside as we can be?
I think so. I mean, we're going to be living with COVID for a long time, maybe forever. Maybe it's going to be with us all the time now. And, it was a novel virus. We didn't really know much about it when it first hit. Oakland County was the first county in Michigan to have a case of COVID back on March 10th. I'll never forget it, of 2020. And we've lost almost 4,000 of our residents. So, yeah, I'm glad that we're past that phase of it. And we are in the recovery phase. And what I like to say is, it's time to go from recovery to thriving again. And I think in many ways, Oakland County is thriving again. We learned about that pandemic around mental health were exacerbated. But we're in a very different place now. And I think I'm grateful for that.
Well, and you did a good job, and I think the governor did a good job. She even admitted, to the media recently that you're never going to get every decision in a crisis like that perfect. But I think we all worked together and got through this as well as we could. And now here we are back to Oakland County, certainly pivotal county in the state of Michigan. We are very prosperous. We have a huge business environment, and I assume your job is to keep business thriving here in our county.
You better believe it. We take business seriously here. We take jobs seriously here. And one of the things I talked about last night is, even though it's nice to get a really big announcement like a General Motors plant in Lake Orion, 95% of our businesses in Oakland County are small businesses, less than 50 people. And they really are the backbone of our downtowns and where most people in Oakland County work. And so we're really leaning in. We have a program called Oakland Thrive. And the whole purpose of Oakland Thrive is to make sure that our small businesses have the resources that they need, the capital, the access to grants, the social media skills, the business planning, all sorts of services for our small businesses. And I want to encourage any of your listeners who either own a small business or maybe want to start a small business, that if you have questions, if you need resources, we have a new website called oaklandthrive.com, and it is going to be filled with resources and help, but also business navigators that can help you figure out what to do to make your business more successful.
Well, I think it's good that you have that all centralized. I'll take a look at that today. I can tell you, Dave Coulter, that in starting my business, that the county was immensely helpful, that they helped us, get connected with the people we needed to connect to get our business going. So very appreciative of that. It's good to know those services are there. And that we are that those kind of things are available. Anything else on the radar? Again, I apologize. I was so focused on basketball, didn't have a lot of time to take a look at what you're doing. I'm going to watch the presentation. But anything else you want to highlight that's going on countywide?
How are the local teams doing? You got to tell me, sir. How are the local teams doing? I haven't been able to catch up with that.
Well, in West Bloomfield, we did great because our girls basketball team won the quarterfinal last night. They're heading off to the Breslin. They're the defending state champion. And Orchard Lake St. Mary and Brother Rice had a really good basketball game on the boys' side. So right in our neighborhood, they're doing really well. Orchard Lake won. So, I tell the people that watch this show, we cover a lot of sports on here. But Dave Coulter, County Executive, to me, it's more these impressive athletes and just interviewing them and talking to them. They just amaze me.
Well, you asked about what else I talked about last night, and I can close with this, but I talked about our young people, that I'm optimistic that because of what they're doing, what they've been through, And what they're doing is amazing to me. And we highlighted a number of them, and we announced a new program. We call it Acorn to Oak, and it's going to be for young people ages 8 to 18 that if they have a certain project or passion or thing that they want to do, but they need a few bucks to help them do it, this is going to be a mini grant program for our young people, brand new. It's called APE. And so whatever it is that their passion is, whatever they're working on, if they need a few bucks to help make a documentary or get a registration to a conference or whatever, they can apply to Oakland County, because we want to encourage our young people, our future, to lean in and follow their dreams. So that was a big announcement last night as well.
All right, good. Well, we will follow up on all that. I want to let everybody know watching, if they were distracted with something last night, they can go to civiccentertv.com. We have the entire presentation there, the live stream. People can watch it. Good job. We'll tune in during the day today and check it out. And Executive Coulter, thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us. And thanks again for having your presentation right here in West Bloomfield last night. Good to see you.
Happy to do it. Thanks for having me, friends.
All right, very good. He is the County Executive, Dave Coulter. And look, it's Sunshine Week. It's been a big week, not only the sports, but certainly a big week for you to have an opportunity to be able to see what's going on in your community, our State of the Communities on Monday night, and then the Oakland County State of the County right after that. So back-to-back, couple of really big opportunities for you to get a deep glimpse into what's going on and watch them. They're both available on Civic Center TV. You can go to our website. You can watch the David Coulter presentation, which is on the web, and you can also watch our State of the Communities, which I anchored a couple of nights ago with our lead elected officials from West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Keagle Harbor, and Sylvan Lake. And here's the other thing I would remind you, you know, these communities are not so big. And these elected officials we're not talking about the President of the United States. These guys and gals are in our community. They're accessible. Their staffs are accessible for you. So watch these programs. Learn what's going on in your backyard, and if you got a question about something, get involved. Write a note, send a letter, make a phone call, or one of the things you can really do that has amazing impact, trust me, is to show up at one of the public meetings, watch what's going on, and offer some commentary from your perspective. I encourage you to do that, especially this week, because it is Sunshine Week, and it's something that we just really like to embrace and emphasize here at Civic Center TV. Our major effort is bringing you access to our local government, and you know, nationally and locally. I could say that we do advocate for open government and coverage as much as possible. So enjoy it, soak it all up. It's all on our website, and that's all I have for you today. So thanks to David Coulter for joining us. Thank you very much for the West Bloomfield High School women's or girls basketball team. Their huge success, monstrous victory in Bay City last night, and we will be heading up on Friday, St. Patty's Day, to the Breslin Center for the state semis and hopefully the state finals this weekend. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning right here on The Splash Live.